Hi everyone. Are you ready to get your models out and show? Or are you a shower and you just want to get a little more comfortable in the show ring? My name is Liz Cory. I've been a model horse collector for many years. I've been a shower, I've been a judge, and I'm a show holder in that I hold up to 6 live shows a year through Great Lakes Congress. Our goal at Great Lakes Congress is to teach people about horses and horsemanship using model horses. And our goal is to make people more comfortable in the show ring so they can enjoy this fun hobby. Now you can see from my display that there's a variety of Breyer product here. Everything from the decorators to the customs to the more common models to the animals to the porcelains, stablemates, performance, vintage, test runs, and even your unicorns, your fantasy models. All this will show. So stay with me. We're going to go over the tips and tricks, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Model horse showing has been around for a long time, since the hobby began. We started with photo shows, but we soon started meeting for live shows, which were held in barns, backyards, and hotels. A live show is when a group of your friends gets together at a public location and everyone brings their models. The show puts out a show bill, a class list, similar to what you would see at a live horse show. You enter your horses in these classes, and usually one fee covers the entire day of showing. And guess what? If you do well enough, you may bring home a bunch of ribbons or even a championship. You can even get together with your friends at someone's home. Once you find out that a show is being held near you, get the class list and study it. Make sure you have the right horses to go into the classes. Be sure to read the rules, and if you're comfortable with them, send in your entry. Now, if you'd rather, contact the show holder to see if you can visit the show first. Many show holders will let you visit the show free of charge, walk around, and see if this type of thing is right for you. That way, if you feel comfortable, the next time the show comes around, you can enter. Now, when it comes to a show and your halter classes, you can show in the breed classes, which are judged on breed characteristics, or collectibility, which is judged on the age and rarity of the model. Your decorators would also go into collectibility. Collectibility shows also have classes for your animals, and sometimes they have specialized classes for your China models. You may show in all of these divisions in the same day. It's a lot of fun, but it does require planning. So let's take a quick look at the steps. First of all, how do I choose my horses? Well, you want to pick out the very best horses that you have. The ones that don't have any scratches or played with surfaces. Your show models should be as mint as possible. That also means free of dust and pet hair. You may want to give them a bath before the show, or take a microfiber cloth with you and go over the horse before the class. Ideally, you'd give it a go-over before you packed it as well. You also see some competitors bring brushes to the show ring, and these brushes, which are basically makeup brushes, can be used to clean the detailed areas of your model, like the intricate areas around the mane and tail. They're soft and they won't scratch the surface. Once you've chosen your model, decide what breed to assign to it. Straight out of the box, your Breyer models often have a breed. There's usually a card on the back that talks about the real horse this model is named for, or the horse that the sculptor had in mind when they created the model. This is valuable information. You can keep the breed or you can use it as a base for researching your own breed. Breed books, magazines, and the internet can give you breed ideas. Look through them and find a picture of a horse that looks like your horse. Do your research and be sure that your horse looks like that breed. Picking the correct breed for your horse is something you'll be judged on, so put some thought into it and feel comfortable with your choice. For example, let's take Jujubee, which was part of the Berries Ponies series. This was from 2019, and Breyer put it in a ponies series, which makes some people pause. Well, gee, is this a pony? Should I select a breed as a pony for this little horse, especially when you put him next to a traditional? Obviously, he's smaller. Well, not necessarily. If you look up the thought that Breyer had when they created this model, they described it as a small gypsy vanner-like horse. So you could breed it as a gypsy vanner, especially if you can find documentation to support that breed. And if you can see it here, I did find a picture of a gypsy vanner that looks very much like Jujubee. It doesn't matter if it's next to a larger horse on the show ring. It doesn't matter that one horse is a traditional and one is more of a classic size. You can even have a draft horse that's a stablemate showing next to them. Each judge will look at the individual entry and judge it on its own merits. So once you choose a breed and you found a picture of a live horse that looks like your horse, create a documentation sheet. You can go online, find the breed standards, find the breed characteristics, cut and paste, but don't alter it, into a document that you'll lay down in front of your horse. This will help the judge understand why you chose that particular breed for that particular horse. When you go to the show, you can mount or put these into the clear plastic folders and put them into a binder. Makes it easy to organize this type of information and take it to the show. Don't forget that the judge is going to look at how well the horse represents the breed. He or she is also going to look at your horse very, very closely. So make sure that it's clean, no dust or pet hair, and also make sure there are no rubs, black marks, or ear tip rubs. The hooves should be clean too. So just make sure everything is in place before you put that horse on the show ring. If you're showing in collectability, you'll want to document the age and rarity of your horse. If your model came with documentation, like a certificate of authenticity, be sure to include it. If your model was one of a numbered run, like some BreyerFest models, or a one-of-a-kind or a test run, or something special like a raffle model, be sure to include that documentation. Show as much proof as you can. Don't assume that the judge is going to know everything about the run. He or she will know quite a bit, but they won't know everything. In fact, some shows, in fact, most of them require documentation. If you don't have it, your entry will be disqualified. So we don't want that to happen to you. So if you have a collectability entry, how do you find that information? It's good info to know for your show string and for your collection. So where do you get this information? Well, by talking with other collectors. In fact, when you're at the show or talking with another hobbyist, don't be afraid to ask questions. Model horse collectors love to talk about the hobby, and most are very happy to share information with you. If you're a beginner, let them know. We love to help beginners. If you want to learn more about models that were made in the early days, tell us so that we can help you with what you need to know about showing vintage models. And if you're at the show and you have any questions about the class or the breed choice that you made for your model, don't be afraid to ask your judge. He or she knows what it's like to be a new shower, and they're often willing to give hints and tips. Just be sure to catch them between classes. Many models in the collectability classes are the older models, and there are many rare micro and test runs from the early and current days of Breyer. If you listen to enough serious collectors, you'll hear a dazzling amount of information about variations, runs, and rare pieces. People who do well in collectability are very well versed in this area. There's information on the internet on sites like Identify Your Breyer, and there's also information in collector books. The Nancy Young books are out of print, but they're among the best because they go into great detail. Nancy did a tremendous amount of research, and it shows. Model horse collectors love to collect documentation. Old catalogs, magazines, sell sheets, it's all good. It really helps in collectability because it helps us get some hints about special runs from years ago and helps us date our models. You can also research your model through the online chat groups or on Facebook. You can post a picture of your horse and ask for input, or you can read the posts and learn about other models as well. This is a hobby where you'll not only want to research your breeds, but the manufacturing history too. Many people ask us about leaving the horses in the box or out of the box. We like them out of the box because when you're showing, you want to be able to see both sides of the horse. You can't do that in the box. However, the boxes do have important information. If they're the more common runs, the Breyer boxes do take up a lot of room, but what a lot of us do is cut out the identification cards and save those as part of our documentation. We take our models out of the boxes unless they're older. This particular box was made for a very short time, and this model was too. Having them together makes a very good collectibility entry. Once you've chosen your model and given it a name, it's time to record your information. Use an Excel sheet or some other program where you can make a record of the model's name, breed, gender, and run information. How many were made? When was it made? Do you have a certificate of authenticity? Some people also document the shows where the model was exhibited and the placings. This is important if you are showing in shows approved by the North American Model Horse Shows Association, or NAMSA. If the show is a NAMSA approved show and your horse wins a first or second place, you'll get a card that will enable your horse to enter the nationals. You should take that card and fill it out right away. Write down your horse's name, your name, and the class before you forget. NAMSA also offers merit awards, and if your horse qualifies, you can win a beautiful award. All of this requires good record keeping so your horse can get the honor it deserves. Model horse clubs also collect points for awards, and many photo shows are doing that now. So how do you identify your horse in the show ring? Well, you do it with string tags. There are two different sizes that are really handy. The smaller ones are the ones that you use to identify your horse in the show ring. On one side goes the breed and the gender of the horse. That goes face up when you put the horse down in front of the judge. On the other side goes your name or your initials and the horse's name. That goes face down. So when the judge is done judging, he or she will flip that tag over, exposing your initials and the horse's name to write in the results. I also use string tags for a couple of other purposes. The larger ones I use for collectibility information. And so I will write the name of the run, the number made, the type of run, and I will put that on my horse when I store it. I'll also take it to the show that I can use it as collectibility information if I don't have my other documentation with me. That's really handy. I also use string tags. I put a dot on them, and I put that around the horse's neck to store. That way, in my collection, I know which horses are ready to go to the show. Now let's talk about packing for the show. You want to be sure to wrap your models in something soft so they're protected and they don't have any scratches or damage to them. Breyer makes these pony pouches, which are fantastic. They're lined with a soft material. They fit your traditional horses. They even have a pocket for your documentation, including your show tag. They come in traditional, they come in classic, and they even come in stablemate size. If you're handy, you can make these, but these are great to have. Next, put your horses in a bin and they're ready to go. I like to pack in the order of the show. So the first horses to show will be packed in one bin, and then the next bin after that will be the next group of horses to show. I put them in order so I can unpack them in order, and then when they're done, I can put them away, and that helps me with my pack up at the end of the day. I like to stand them up in these types of clear bins, and you'll see as we go down through the clear side, you can see all the horses are standing up in the bin, protected in their pony pouches. Now you can get shorter bins for your stablemates so they can stand up too. You'll want to bring a tablecloth for your show table. It makes your show table look nice, and it protects your horses too. What if you have a fragile custom or a porcelain, a Breyer porcelain, and you want to protect it on your table? You want to make sure that it doesn't fall over and get damaged. Well, bring a soft type of mat. This is an old bath mat, or you could bring a throw or something that is soft and portable and lay your horses down on that. Many people ask me, how do I keep my horses from tipping over on the show's table? You know that sound, that domino sound, when one of them goes, they all go. Well, here's a good solution. Take a collapsible stand with you. These are pot lid racks from IKEA. They're covered with plastic tubing and a soft covering over the top. They're easy to make yourself, and what you can do is adjust them to the width of your horse. So if your horse is wide, you can make it wider. If the horse is narrow, you can make it narrower. But it keeps these tippy guys from falling over, and it helps you maintain a little bit of order on your show table. Again, they collapse and they fold out. They're wonderful for your shelves too. Let me show you a little bit about the plastic tubing. It's right there, and it hooks on to this pot rack. When I do these workshops live, we often put our horses together and do a little judging. I always think you learn a lot from judging a show. You get to see what the judge is looking for. This is something you may want to plan for your friends. You can also take pictures of your horses and do a virtual show. By judging, you see what the judge is seeing, and you get a feel for creating the best entry. I'll be honest with you. While judging, I've learned a lot about my own entries by seeing what other showers put on the table and how they put their entries and documentation together. You can always learn from someone else. And don't forget, all sizes of horses show together. So in this class, we have a traditional, we have a classic, and we have a stablemate. As long as they conform with the rules of the class in terms of being all draft breeds and the particular class, they can show together. So what I'm trying to say is that the individual size of the horse doesn't matter. They'll all be judged on their individual merits. So let's talk about the classes for the unusual pieces in your collection. These are the brightly colored decorators, and they can also include your unicorns too, your fantasy animals. There's places for them at the shows too. They often go in collectibility classes or in a special decorators section. Your wood grains, your brightly colored horses, these are decorators. Your animals would go into a special class, and the decorators may be separated out. But it's important to note that the wood grain finish is considered to be a decorator finish. In fact, anything that is non-realistic would be a decorator. Your unicorns will also have their own class, as well as the other fantasy animals. Your tags would basically just have a gender on one side, and then on the flip side would have the animal's name and your initials. When it comes to performance, that's where you're going to tack up your horse and show it in a performance class. You can show an English pleasure, Western pleasure, gaming, trail, harness, costume, or any one of the classes that you see in the live show ring. When tacking up your horse, it's important to give yourself time. Be sure to do as much as you can at home before you even leave for the show. And be sure to bring a repair kit with you in case you need to make some adjustments. You don't always need a doll for a performance class, but read your show rules. You don't always need a base. What you do need is the appropriate tack and props for the class. That can include jumps, fences, trail props, and documentation that describes what your horse is doing. Performance judges look for accuracy, neatness, and realism. That means the horse is clean, free of flaws, and the tack is correct for the class. It fits well, and the stirrups, bridle, and bit are all in the right place. There are some showers who love performance so much it's all they do. You might like it too. There's nothing better than seeing some of these entries in action. It's true art in miniature. If you want to see pictures of live shows, there are plenty on the internet. Look up Great Lakes Congress on Facebook, and you'll see pictures from our shows too. Pictures from shows and live horse pictures are great ways to understand tack and tack placement. You can also learn a lot by visiting live horse shows. This sounds like a lot, but let me tell you, this hobby is fun, and these tips are designed to help you enjoy your show day. In between classes, you can visit with your friends, participate in the raffles or contests, even shop for new models. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my time with you today, and I hope you did too. Did you have a good time? That's what it's all about. Remember, winning isn't everything. It's about your friends. It's about your enjoyment. It's about sharing your love of these beautiful models. That's what it's all about. Remember, when you go to a show, you may have a great show one day, and then the next show, your horses don't do so well. Well, it's not a tragedy. It's something that changes. There are a lot of variables, including the judging, the show, the class list. But some of the variables may be with you. Look at your show strength. Look at how they did. Do you need to change things up? Do you need to change a breed? Do you need to freshen your tack? Do you need to really go over your horses and make sure that there's not an ear tip rub or something else that needs to be corrected? So look at that and see if there's any changes you need to make. Study your data, collect your data, and you'd be surprised at how you can improve your performance in the show string.